The luxurious conference hall on the 91st floor of the Black Tower becomes completely silent. Everyone keeps staring at the enormous silver serving platter. Lady Iona casually lies on top of it as if it is a soft sofa instead of a dining table. She lazily puts another cherry into her mouth and slowly chews it with a carefree smile while Genoba stands frozen with fear. The giant rhinoceros tower master stumbles backward, and his eyes almost pop out of his head. He cannot believe what he is seeing and asks in shock how Lady Iona is still alive and standing before him. Iona lets out a playful giggle and gives Genoba a sweet but mischievous smile. She teasingly remarks that he seems to have been playing some cute little tricks behind her back. Genoba's entire body starts shaking. His face turns pale, his confident smile completely disappears, and panic quickly takes over. He immediately orders everyone to kill her. The moment those desperate words leave his mouth, Iona calmly raises one hand without showing the slightest fear. She quietly summons a magic circle. Brilliant golden magic circles instantly appear all around her, glowing brightly and filling the conference hall with magical light. Without wasting even a second, she calmly begins casting a spell. She commands the power of gravity to obey her and become much stronger. Suddenly, the entire conference hall shakes violently. She completes the spell by activating gravity control. Boom! A terrifying force crashes down from above like an invisible mountain. The floor instantly cracks apart. The luxurious tables explode into pieces. The walls groan loudly under the unbearable weight. Genoba, the meerkat, the elegant black horse, and every other mage in the room are instantly crushed flat against the floor by the overwhelming pressure. Painful cries echo throughout the hall. No one can even stand up. Every tower master struggles desperately just to breathe as if a giant mountain is pressing down on their bodies. Even moving a finger becomes almost impossible. Meanwhile, Iona calmly walks between them with both hands behind her back. She smiles gently as though she is simply enjoying a peaceful walk through a beautiful garden instead of dealing with traitors. After walking for a while, she stops directly in front of Genoba. She quietly asks whether all of them truly wants her position that badly. Nobody dares answer. The silence itself becomes their reply. Seeing this, Iona's smile grows even wider. She calmly explains that she is more than willing to hand everything over if they truly want it. She raises one finger and says that they can have her title as president of the Mage Association. Then she raises another finger and calmly adds that they can also take her position as the Tower Master of Gravity. However, her warm smile slowly disappears, and her expression turns cold. Her crimson eyes begin shining with dangerous light as she quietly asks whether they are truly prepared to carry everything that comes with those titles. The room remains completely silent. Iona softly explains that whoever takes her place might have to endure terrifying nightmares every single night. She slowly leans closer to Genoba and quietly repeats that those nightmares will never stop. Then she lets out another playful laugh. Genoba grits his teeth in frustration. The elegant black horse immediately loses his patience and angrily calls Genoba an incompetent fool. Realizing the situation has completely changed, the black horse quickly lowers his head toward Iona. He desperately explains that they are only deceived by Genoba and claims that they have nothing to do with the conspiracy. Iona casually waves one hand as if none of those excuses matter. She calmly says that it changes nothing. She repeats that she is perfectly willing to give away her position if that is truly what they desire. Then she slowly raises both hands. An enormous amount of terrifying black mana suddenly pours out of her body. The thick, dark energy fills the conference hall with overwhelming pressure. She calmly announces that, in exchange for taking her place, they must first face the ancient demon king sealed inside her inner world. Everyone freezes in complete shock. The meerkat's mouth falls wide open. He cannot believe that Iona has actually sealed an ancient demon king inside her own body. The elegant black horse begins trembling uncontrollably as he finally understands why Iona possesses such terrifying strength. Iona quietly nods and calmly explains that sealing the demon king inside herself is a choice she willingly makes to protect the Black Tower. A gentle but sad smile appears on her face, as she says that she believes this is exactly what the president of the Mage Association should do. For the very first time, everyone notices genuine exhaustion on her face. Dark circles are visible beneath her eyes, and her smile carries years of hidden suffering. She honestly admits that she actually welcomes this opportunity because it means she can finally put down the heavy burden she has been carrying alone for so long. Then she gently snaps her fingers. She cheerfully tells them that, when they meet the Demon King, they should give him her regards. Another playful laugh escapes from her lips. A huge wave of darkness crashes over everyone. In an instant, the conference hall disappears without warning. The floor beneath their feet vanishes, and they fall into an endless world of darkness. Thick shadows stretch in every direction while freezing wind whispers through the empty space. There is no light, no sign of life, and no escape. The strange world feels ancient and terrifying. Suddenly, A terrifying roar echoes through the endless darkness. Grower! Everyone freezes. The thunder-like sound echoes across the empty world. Genoba quickly turns toward it in shock. Without warning, a gigantic black ghost bursts out of the darkness. Its body is made of swirling shadows. The meerkat stumbles backward in terror and desperately asks what the monster is. The giant creature slowly drags itself forward. A dreadful groan escapes its mouth. It lurches forward again. Then it suddenly charges. Before anyone else can react, Genoba thrusts both hands forward. Blue mana erupts around him. He casts Sinister Bolt. A massive bolt of dark lightning slams into the ghost. The monster is blasted backward before exploding into black smoke. As the smoke fades, Genoba lowers his hand, folds his arms, and proudly declares that the monster is nothing but trash. The frightened meerkat immediately praises Lord Genoba with admiration, who then angrily turns toward Genoba and reminds everyone that they are trapped only because Genoba fails to kill Iona properly. The rhinoceros agrees, reminding him that he confidently claims Iona is dead. Genoba angrily orders them to shut up. His voice echoes into the endless darkness. Then, everything becomes silent. Suddenly, an ancient voice echoes from every direction. Its overwhelming power makes the entire world tremble. The voice calmly states that they are not Iona. Everyone's bodies stiffen. The meerkat trembles as he fearfully wonders if this is the Demon King's voice. Despite the fear in his eyes, Genoba steps forward. Raising both arms, he boldly declares that Iona is gone and proudly announces that he will become the ancient Demon King's new master. Mana surges around him as he points at himself and claims that he is much stronger than Iona, demanding the Demon King's power. For a brief moment, silence. Then, soft laughter echoes throughout the endless nightmare. The mysterious voice says it will at least give Genoba credit for his courage. The laughter grows louder as it mocks the idea of a new master. Genoba's confident smile immediately disappears. Then the laughter suddenly stops. The ancient voice turns ice-cold and declares that Genoba is unbelievably arrogant. The darkness begins flowing like liquid. Black mist gathers. The shadows slowly part. An enormous silhouette rises from the darkness. Countless glowing eyes stare directly at Genoba. Another deafening roar shakes the nightmare. The Demon King calmly declares that Iona is not his master. The group stares in disbelief. The ancient being explains that, in exchange for sealing him, the Nightmare King is merely a toy who agrees to play with him in this eternal nightmare. A monstrous smile spreads across his face. Everyone falls silent. Genoba breathes heavily as cold sweat pours down his face. The Demon King's countless eyes suddenly shine brighter. He declares that Genoba will now replace Iona and remain there forever, playing with him in the eternal nightmare. Suddenly, a gigantic black hand bursts from the darkness. It slams directly into Genoba. Terrified screams immediately fill the endless darkness as black shadows completely consume everyone. Only then does Genoba finally understand the horrifying truth. His entire body shakes violently as he realizes that Iona has been enduring this endless nightmare every single time she falls asleep. The thought completely destroys his remaining courage. Fear overwhelms his mind. The proud tower master collapses onto the ground and desperately begs the Demon King to spare his life. Outside the nightmare, back inside the luxurious conference hall, every tower master lies unconscious on the cracked floor. Their faces are pale, and their bodies twitch from the terrifying nightmare they are experiencing. Meanwhile, Iona happily sits beside the banquet table without a single worry. She hums cheerfully while eating another delicious slice of cake. With a relaxed smile, she comments that being the strongest mage in the Black Tower is never an easy job. She lets out another cheerful giggle and happily continues enjoying the feast, while everyone else remains trapped inside the endless nightmare of her inner world. Far away, on the 77th floor of the Black Tower, a large stone waypoint stands before Sijuan's group. Theo points at it with one paw and happily tells everyone that it is the waypoint for the 77th floor. Sijuan smiles gently. While scratching his cheek awkwardly, he admits that he feels a little guilty because it seems as though they are leaving immediately after causing such a huge disturbance on this floor. The Gorilla King laughs loudly. While scratching the back of his head, he cheerfully says that Sijuan should not worry because he is actually the one who causes the terrible drought that nearly ruins the entire floor. He laughs at himself in embarrassment. The old Monkey King snorts with disappointment. He clicks his tongue and sarcastically says that someone like the Gorilla King still calls himself the floor boss. Then he turns toward Garina and comments that at least she finally learns her lesson this time. Garina quietly lowers her head. Suddenly, Kung slowly walks forward. The little bear lowers his head. "I'm sorry for hitting both of you, is what I say." He bows deeply once again. "And, big sister Garina." Garina blinks in surprise. Kung gives her a warm and innocent smile. He kindly tells Garina that she is already strong and that she always works hard and gives everything she has. He gently assures her that someday someone who truly loves her exactly as she is will definitely appear. With a bright grin, he adds that waiting for that special person is exciting, just like searching for hidden treasure. The sincere words immediately bring tears to Garina's eyes. Unable to control her emotions any longer, she suddenly lifts Kung into a huge hug and squeezes him tightly. Theo dramatically wipes away tears from his eyes and says that Kung is simply too sweet. Sejun smiles warmly before placing one hand on the glowing waypoint. Zing! A bright blue system window instantly appears before him. The waypoint for the 77th floor of the tower has been saved. Ding! Loading saved waypoints from other floors. Ding! Ding! Saved waypoints. 99th floor of the tower. Sejun's eyes widen with excitement. He happily says that it actually works. Another notification immediately appears. Ding! You have achieved the first ever feat in the tower's history of traveling downward. Ding! You have acquired the title. Retrograde. Confused, Sejun quietly repeats the name of the title. Another blue window appears before him. Due to the effect of the title, Retrograde, all stats increase by 22. Sejun's jaw drops in complete surprise. He quickly realizes that his stats seem to increase according to the number of floors he travels downward. Before he can think about it any longer, Theo grabs his sleeve and hurriedly tells Chairman Park that they need to leave quickly because the weather on this floor is far too hot. Sejun laughs and agrees. He waves goodbye to everyone and says that they are leaving now but hopes to meet all of them again someday. The monkeys enthusiastically wave back with cheerful smiles as Sejun's entire group disappears into the glowing waypoint. Back on Earth, deep inside the headquarters of the Kenya Hunter Association branch. Han Tae-jun. Across from him sits Ngugi, the president of the Kenya Hunter Association branch. The atmosphere is tense. Both men know that although the immediate crisis in Kenya has been stopped, the real disaster is only beginning. Ngugi opens another classified report. His expression grows darker as he reads the latest intelligence. He slowly looks up at Han Tae-jun. The damage caused by the locusts is currently being reported across Nigeria and Cameroon. He slides several satellite photographs across the table. A food distribution center at the Lagos port has been identified as the primary source. The photographs show enormous swarms of green locusts covering warehouses, cargo ships, and nearby farmland. The insects crawl over everything in horrifying numbers, filling the air with an endless buzzing. Although complete quarantine measures have been implemented, Ngugi pauses as he turns to another page. His voice becomes even heavier. Yellow spots have started to appear on them. Silence fills the room. Han Tae-jun slowly narrows his eyes as he stares at the photographs. Is there evolution drawing near? Ngugi immediately lifts his head in confusion. Did you just say evolution? Han Tae-jun calmly nods. Yes. He folds his hands together before continuing. As their numbers grow, locusts change color and become much stronger. A green locust is no different from a giant grasshopper. His voice becomes much more serious. But once they evolve into a yellow locust, they become so strong that even an ordinary adult can barely kill one. Ngugi's throat tightens. Gulp! A cold sweat slowly runs down his forehead as he realizes the true meaning behind those words. Han Tae-jun immediately gives his orders without showing the slightest hesitation. For now, process the green onions and build a defensive line around Nigeria and Cameroon as quickly as possible. Ngugi instantly rises from his chair and salutes. Yes, sir. I will deploy the personnel immediately. Han Tae-jun quietly looks. His calm face slowly hardens. But in truth, he lowers his voice until only he can hear it. I already know. Far away, deep within the endless ocean, a massive container ship steadily sails through the dark sea. Gentle waves repeatedly crash against its strong steel hull. Everything appears completely peaceful, until the view slowly moves toward the front of the ship. There, tightly clinging to the bow, an enormous swarm of green locusts completely covers the metal like a living blanket. Millions upon millions of tiny glowing eyes silently stare forward in perfect unison. Not a single sound comes from the swarm. Without making the slightest noise, locusts continue crossing the endless ocean together.